Hello, everyone. The webinar is now live. So welcome to our show today. I'm just going to wait just a couple minutes here and just make sure everybody's just kind of joining. I see the numbers kind of rising slowly. Wonderful. Hope everyone's having a great evening. I just about said afternoon because I'm in BC. It's 4 o'clock right here. That's better. All right, guys, just a couple more minutes or less than a minute here, or sorry, about a minute or two. Let's meet in the middle. Shauna from the country way, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. Absolutely. All right. Let's get the show on the road. All right, so 402, 702, let's get going. I've got some awesome information today. So I'm just going to close this chat box for now. Ta-da. All right, everyone, welcome to the webinar officially. It is called Science Beneath the Surface, Your Skin from Underneath. And we're going to talk about that exactly. All right, first things first, I wanted to do a huge shout out and thank you to Country Way to give us opportunity to be here with your community and educate your wonderful customers on skin health and skin products. If you have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A box, not the chat box. In the Q&A box, we have someone that is going to be kind of triaging questions and answering as we go along, and we'll do our very best to answer your questions in the best way possible. And if not, we will get back to you with a better answer at a later date. CanPrev is going to be giving away a wonderful gift. It's pretty skookum. It's awesome. It has these 5 products right here. So keep an eye out for an email saying, hey, you have won this wonderful gift, and you're going to learn about all these things. But also, we will be giving away 2 other smaller gift baskets. I didn't put that in the presentation, but that's kind of a new thing and it's exciting. And there are going to be 2 other smaller gifts. So keep an eye out for that afterwards too. You're going to learn about how awesome these things are in a moment. So let's talk about me for a minute or less. I'm Dr. Rory Gibbons. I'm a naturopathic doctor in British Columbia. I am a new dad. I have one little guy who's 2.5, and then another little guy who's just super fresh. He's 3 weeks today. It's really exciting times over at my house. Absolutely, and people with kids and multiple kids know exactly what I'm talking about. I have a very strong interest in functional nutrition and how nutrients affect the biochemistry in our body. It makes sense to me. There's lots of research behind nutrition and individual nutrients. And because of that, patients get it as well. I am a speaker. I do these types of talks. People during my visits, I definitely talk a lot, but I just love educating people on health and what they can do to better their health and live a more fruitful life. I've written a bunch of articles. No like scientific articles, but I pepper scientific research into my articles for magazines. and over Canada. I am a husband. I'm a father, obviously, and I love cycling and hiking and being anywhere outdoors. I enjoy cooking, and I also really like Star Wars. And the last few years have been really great because there's been new Star Wars coming out every year, and Christmas time is my time to watch Star Wars movies. So anyways, I can go on about that. Let's talk about skin for a second, because that's what we're talking about tonight. Let's get a grounds of a kind of visual of where these products are going to be acting. So our skin is a defense system, all right, but it's also a sponge, okay? So you can see here, this is the top layer of the skin. So this is air, right? And this is a deeper layer, and then you got bones underneath here. So this part right here is called the epidermis, the most outer layer. It has 6 different layers. We're not going to get into each one of them. Excuse me. The one underneath that is called the dermis, and the one underneath that is called the hypodermis. So some of those terms might be ringing a bell from Science 10 back in the day, and you'll understand why I'm bringing this up as we talk about the individual nutrients themselves. Root cause skin health starts from beneath the surface. So certain nutritional products are made to make your insides healthy and make you glow outwards. Okay, things like collagen, silicone, omega-3s, all the things that we're going to be talking about. So instead of applying products on top of the skin on the epidermis, we are going to be fueling the body from underneath. Okay, when we put stuff on top to help mitigate issues, it's kind of like masking an issue, masking a problem, or band-aiding. Okay. So fundamental factors for good skin health. Let's just start there. Okay, these are basic things that can happen every single day. And if we don't do these things, then the products that we're using, if we do these things, the products that we're using will work better. Okay, so number 1, hydration. Easy rule, drink water. Okay, easy rule, P is clear and colorless. That's your goal. Okay, that is an excellent, simple indicator. If you're taking vitamins, yeah, it's going to be yellow, right? If you're taking riboflavin, it's going to be yellow. But if it's clear and colorless or clear and yellow due to the vitamin, then you're sitting in the clear. If it's cloudy, something else going on, or you're dehydrated. We want to limit refined and processed sugars. So when we eat refined sugars, such as pop, candy, cookies, anything in a package, this elicits a response where insulin is released into the blood from the pancreas. Okay, and we know that insulin, when unregulated, is a driver of inflammation. Okay, so any of my skin patients that I see will definitely cover blood glucose and insulin and what's going on there. We want to limit alcohol. So when we do that, then there's less toxins that need to be cleared out through the liver and the kidneys and the skin. Okay, remember the skin soaks up stuff. We put topical products in, and if it's not specifically designed to not go in the skin, it will be absorbed, and then we deal with it through different biochemical reactions. So if we can limit the burden on our liver by limiting alcohol, then we are just going in the right direction. Regular exercise, regular sweating does the skin wonders. Everyone's heard about this, right? Everyone knows this, but we gotta start doing this, okay? Regular exercise has so many benefits, not just skin, but let's see, heart, blood, kidneys, muscles, pain levels, libido, mood, brain function, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can go on and on and on. But when we sweat, water comes out. And when that happens, other toxins are released out of the skin. A healthy dose of sun. So this means no burning, all right? Don't burn. If you have burned, you have gone too far. Pay attention to your skin in the sun and take breaks. People usually know how long is too long, okay? So before you feel crispy, take a break by getting in the shade, but not the water to cool off, okay? When you go in the water, some of the sun rays are even amplified. So reducing and managing daily stress. This benefits us on so many levels. But for the skin, this is usually connected to blood sugar and insulin again. All right. That's a whole other webinar that I might throw together. And lastly, but definitely not least, healthy fats in your diet, okay? Omega-3 fatty acids in particular. So found in avocados, olive oil, fish, nuts, and seeds. They're good for us. We need to eat them. And we'll be covering this in a moment. So external influences on skin health, too much sun. We just talked about this, but why? It can damage DNA, which is ultimately in charge of making new skin cells, okay? So if DNA is damaged, then there's a chance that cell that's being created is going to be mutated, right? And that can evolve if it's not caught early, and that can lead to skin diseases down the road. So we do have mechanisms in place to identify that mutated skin cell and cause it to die, cause the skin cell to die, okay? But sometimes when that doesn't happen, they can multiply and create abnormal skin cells or abnormal skin lesions. When you're talking about UVA rays and UVB rays, UVA is in charge of aging the skin, okay? And UVB is in charge of burning the skin. Radiation from x-rays. So exposure to x-rays can damage the DNA in the cells, but this also depends on the exposure duration and frequency, okay? I bring this up, and it's kind of a larger topic, but I bring it up because it often comes up in visits when talking about skin conditions. Topical products, it is an external influence because we're putting it externally on the skin. Okay, so the skin soaks up the topical products that we put on them. So that means if you're putting chemicals on your skin, they are being absorbed, and thus our body needs to deal with them. Okay, those things go to the liver and are processed. And if they are toxic to our body, we need to get rid of them. So this could be potentially leading to something called liver burden. So as you can already tell, I'm not just talking about the skin, right? There's a lot of other pieces that we need to deal with or address when treating a skin condition. I didn't even get started on the gut. Last on this list, cortisone creams. Although very effective in eliminating inflammation on the skin, it can over time make the skin thinner. Makes the skin thinner. So over time, meaning more frequently applied. So if you're putting cortisone cream on every single day, higher chance of the skin becoming thinner and then further causing cracks and loss of integrity in the skin. So if you're using a cortisone cream, my question is why? Okay, so then we can address the cause of the skin condition so you can use less and less of that. So let's just talk about some skin terminology that might come up throughout the presentation. Wrinkles. By this, I mean a depression in the outer layer of the skin. Elasticity is an ability of the skin to go back to the original shape. Density of the skin, how plump the skin looks and feels. Suppleness, how pliant and flexible it is, and smoothness, just meaning even consistency. All right, so nutrients. We're first going to talk about essential fatty acids, and then we're going to go into collagen, silicon, biotin, which is also vitamin B7, ceramides, which is super cool, and hyaluronic acid, which is a new and exciting product from CanPrev. Let's go to the next thing here. So essential fatty acids. One of the staple dietary inclusions and one of the staple nutrients into most of my treatment plans with my patients. So why do we use omega-3s for benefiting skin health? It improves lipid levels in the epidermis, the outer layer of the skin. So lipids, if you're wondering what the heck a lipid is a fat. It's a good fat. We need it. Lipids are fats, but this doesn't mean that there will be more stored fat in your skin. Okay, we need this in our skin in order for our cells to work. Okay, this does not mean that it will look like you have more fat on your skin. Okay, this fat should be there in order for the skin to be improved. Omega-3s modulate inflammation. The EPA part of the fish oil affects the inflammation. Okay, when we talk about omega-3s, we talk about EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, which is doxapentaenoic acid, I believe. DHA, I never say those words completely. I just use the acronym, and you should too. So when we're looking at a fish oil, looking at the EPA and the DHA pieces of that omega-3. So the EPA is the anti-inflammatory component. And that is what modulates inflammation. It doesn't crush inflammation, it controls it. Okay, photoprotection. The lipids live in a layer that is closer to the sun than the DNA in a new cell. It acts kind of like a filter. Okay, it increases hydration and improves water loss. So it's like it's maintaining the integrity of the skin. Flexibility, it improves it. Each cell is encased in a lipid layer which is soft and flexible. Everyone's thinking about their Science 10 projects of the cell. If you remember, it's like it looks usually they're like this big. Sorry, they're this shape, and it has a bunch of like little organelles in them that do different things, and every single layer is a lipid layer. All right, so you can see like we do need lipids in our life. And lastly, it improves smoothness of the skin by improving the elasticity of the skin. How do omega-3 fatty acids benefit the skin? Kind of alluded to it, but skin beauty is a $1 billion industry, and it's growing fast. Okay, so soft and smooth skin is a big part of skin beauty, and hydration and elasticity drive those two things. Okay, hydration and elasticity create soft and smooth skin. We need to drink water too. Okay, hydration is just another key thing. We need to eat them in our diet, and we need to take them as a supplement potentially. So when it comes to the products, there's liquid fish oils and there's also capsulated fish oils. The capsulated fish oils are less concentrated and the liquid are more concentrated. They all have EPA and DHA in them. And as you can see from the labels, they're different ratios. Okay, so in general, having around a 2-to-1 ratio of EPA to DHA is a great combination if you're looking for a fish oil, kind of as a maintenance. So 2-to-1 meaning twice as much EPA than there is DHA. DHA is not harmful by any means, but people need more inflammation control in general. So professional grade omega-3s, there's about 2 times more concentrated. They are 2 times more concentrated than other fish oils on the market. Okay. Also, fish oils should not taste fishy. Okay. Often patients will tell me, "Oh, fish oil, I have to take that. I can't stand that gross, rotten fish taste." My response is usually, "Me neither. Throw that product out because it is rancid." Okay, something has gone wrong in that production of that fish oil. Either it was produced incorrectly on the production line, put in a bottle that doesn't filter light, or is it's too old and past its expiry date. You notice how that these bottles are brown? There's a reason why they're brown. They're filtering light to protect the fish oil inside. So the capsules are a 2-to-1 ratio, but clinically I always recommend a fish oil liquid due to the higher concentration of EPA. Honestly, yeah, like I said before, most people will benefit from a higher level of EPA. This one here that just popped up, that is a high EPA product. The next one is kind of a more balanced EPA product, excellent for maintenance of health. And then this is a more higher DHA. I'm not going to get into specifically why you take either one of those, but fish oil in general is going to be helpful. Just make sure you get a good one, please. So frequently asked questions, these are awesome. What if I'm a vegan? I can't take your fish oil if I'm a vegan. Yeah, that's fair. There's other options for you, okay? The vegan sources of fish oils are usually higher in DHA. They usually come from some sort of algae or some sort of like flaxseed. They're usually higher in DHA and lower in EPA generally, okay? They're overall a lower concentrated material, and they are more expensive per serving of EPA and DHA. Okay. What if I have a shellfish allergy? That's also a very valid question. There's no shellfish in these products. Okay. They're rigorously tested to make sure that there is not shellfish in those products. But if you're allergic to an anchovy or sardine and or mackerels, nope, don't take this one. Okay. So all of these fish oils are made out of small fish that are cold pressed. Can I mix it with something because I don't like the fishy taste? Again, it shouldn't taste like rotten fish, okay? First of all, yes, there may be a minimal taste, and you may get this from products that are cheaper and not protected from UV rays. My go-to for taking this and mixing it with other things is putting it with a shot of mango juice. So you get a little shot glass, you pour some mango juice in, and you put your 1 teaspoon in, or whatever is recommended to you, and you just do a quick mix, shoot her back. It's delicious, and it gets the job done. Try to get like a real mango juice though. Don't get like a sugary, full sugar one. All right. Collagen. Love talking about collagen because everyone knows, or everyone's heard the word and wants to believe that they know about it. So let's talk about collagen and let's break it down. Collagen is the brick to the mortar. All right. So if you're building a wall out of bricks, you're going to use bricks, which are the collagen, and you're going to use silicon, which is the mortar or the cement that's in between. So keep that as your visual. Collagen is like, yeah, okay. I'll tell you in a second. So after 25 years old, our collagen gets into a state of catabolism instead of anabolism or anabolism, however you want to say it. This is where supplemental collagen comes into play. So catabolism means breaking down, okay? And anabolism means building up. This is not to say that there is no anabolism happening at all. This means that the balance between the two has shifted, okay? So that's both of these things are happening concurrently, but the balance has shifted. So catabolism is a little bit more predominant and anabolism is a little bit less. Okay, so we need to use collagen in a specific form. Oh, sorry, let's back it up. So what do we need to do? We need to add a high quality collagen in the best available form to support the anabolic state. All right, and this is where hydrolyzed peptides come into play because they tell our cells to stimulate natural recovery and repair. Okay, they actually like go in there and they tell the cells that make the collagen to start working. Okay, and additionally, this type of collagen that we use is providing the nutrition for those cells to use. That's a pretty amazing concept. Okay, and we use a type of collagen called Verisol bioactive collagen peptides, and this is a trademark collagen, and it has some excellent research around it. So I kind of just jumped into what collagen is in the anabolic and catabolic state, but where does it live? It literally lives everywhere in the body. Collagen is everywhere. Okay, there's different types in our body, but it is in our skin, in our bones, in our muscles, in our digestive tract, in our, oh my gosh, it's absolutely everywhere. So we need to make sure that we're fueling our cells to produce collagen and get into that anabolic state. So choosing a collagen. This is a very legit question because there's a lot out on the market. So here are some tips that you can use during your next collagen purchase. How to pick a good one: neutral smell. I understand you can't really open the bottle in the store, okay? But if you do buy one and you open it and you smell like you'll know, you're like, that smells like something that I don't like. And it's usually a sulfury smell. Okay, you're not gonna smell like a bunch of eggs just wafting out of you, but you're gonna smell like a little bit of a kind of a sulfury smell. That is because the collagen is in bigger pieces. Okay, so the product that we're using today that we're talking about is small, and we're going to get into why in just a moment. You're looking for a neutral taste, so something that dissolves in water and you don't taste it, or you drink it and you don't really taste it, or it's kind of like tastes like nothing. Solubility in water, meaning will the collagen dissolve in a glass of water? So gelatin will only be soluble in warm water. So if you see that on a bottle, you're going to have to mix that with a warm drink. So gelatin, think about if you cook a roast beef or something and you let it cool and it cools down and there's like the jelly on it, that is gelatin. You mix that up with hot water, yeah, it'll dissolve for sure. Peptides will dissolve in a temperature of any temperature of solution. So So the hydrolyzed peptides in the CanPrev collagen products, they will dissolve in any temperature. So you can mix it with your coffee and it's not a problem. You're looking for a good cost. Okay, so in the supplement world, it's very frustrating because there's so many products and so many different opinions on how good the products are. A general rule I use with patients is the cheaper the product, the less effective it could possibly be. And the more expensive it is, it means it has probably been well tested to prove the ingredients that are in it. There are fewer fillers and there's more of the actual product present. Okay, so you'll see why in a second. So more of the product present. If you get a product that says collagen, and it's just like, that's it, I would question it and go, well, what kind of collagen is it? How big are the peptides? Is it peptides? What else is in it? Any other ingredients? Right? If you get a higher quality product and that one costs more, you're probably going to see more ingredients on it or more clearly labeled ingredients. Okay. Again, another example I use is magnesium. I ask patients like, "Oh, you taking magnesium?" "Oh yeah, I got magnesium from whatever drugstore." And I go, and they send me a picture and it says magnesium on it. Okay, well, there are a bunch of different types of magnesium. What type is it? And is it working for you? So we need to see, like, is it magnesium bisglycinate? Is it magnesium citrate? Is it magnesium oxide? Because they're all going to do different things. Brand reputation. So select a brand that strives to use sustainable means to create their product. Okay, and that's fair. Like, let's use a good quality product, a brand that is supporting local people, maybe sustainable fishing, purchasing a product from independent producers. And one thing I like to stress is use a company that uses third-party testing to test their products. Lastly, size matters. Okay, the pieces of collagen that you are ingesting from a product should be really small. Okay, like 2 kilodaltons small. That's actually a molecular weight. If they are not that small, then the product will lose its effectiveness. Okay, if you are purchasing some powder, if the powder clumps when you mix up with water, then the particles are too large. They are larger than 2 kilodaltons. And if the product has a smell, the products are too large because they have extra bonds in them. So like, it's going to be tough to find like most collagen products don't have the molecular weight listed on them. But if you do some digging and do some research, then we know that kilodalton, like 2 to 5 kilodalton is the sweet spot for collagen effectiveness. Collagen from CanPrev comes in a liquid too. The Verisol bioactive collagen peptides, it has a bunch of research done on them. I'm just going to briefly go through them, but they're very impressive. Like 2 weeks, in some situations, 4 weeks in some situations. Visible skin results, improved wrinkles. Okay, in 28 days. It's not even 30 days, not even a month. Best results were seen after 3 months, but people were seeing improvements really soon. Okay, cellulite. This is a very interesting one. Within 3 to 6 months, there's less waviness in the skin. Okay, so pair that with strength training, less sugar in your diet, adequate hydration. That's going to be even better. Visible nail results, improved nail integrity, such as chips, cracks, and peels. So less of those things within 2 months. What was it done on hair? Increased thickness after 4 months, improved texture and strength. Wound healing. We need collagen to stitch up wounds, right? So if you have a cut, they need to come together, and then that tissue needs to be generated to fuse it together. It helps with the wound healing and like joint damage as well. And all of this based on a 2 kilodalton size of collagen. The flavor of this, it's an orangey citrus taste, but it's really mild. Okay, definitely like a fraction of an orange crush. Collagen comes in powder. It's flavorless, it's dairy-free, it's creamy taste. I add it to my morning coffee every morning, and wonderfully enough, due to the size of the collagen, it will not be changed due to the super hotness of the coffee itself. It will absorb, it will mix up really, really well. Common collagen myths. Okay, this is a good one too. You need vitamin C to make collagen work properly. Yeah, yes and no. So vitamin C is needed to change 2 amino acids into a usable form. Proline and lysine are the amino acids that need to be in this form called hydroxylated. Okay, collagen supplements, especially the CanPrev ones, provide these amino acids to proline and lysine. Sorry, they provide these amino acids in the hydroxylated form, so the usable form already. So you don't need to take vitamin C with collagen. Okay, vegans that don't take a collagen product or don't eat meat, obviously because they're vegan, they do need vitamin C to produce collagen. If you eat meat, the collagen that you are eating has proline and lysine already used in a usable form. Okay, so let's recap that. If you are eating meat and if you are taking a collagen product, you do not need to take a vitamin C tablet to make it work. Okay. You need marine collagen for skin and grass-fed collagen for joints. So this is a really interesting one. And marketing is amazing. So no, there's actually no difference between these two because the only thing that matters is the peptide size. Okay. When you take marine collagen and grass-fed collagen, you boil it all down and break it all down, it comes to a hydrolyzed peptide. Okay. And that's what we need, a 2 kilodalton peptide size. All right. Marine collagen is better for skin because marketing, right? People will spend more money on the way they look versus the function of their joints. Simple enough. There might be some people that disagree, but in general, that's kind of what we see. The production of marine sources is more expensive. So why would you pick one or the other? Maybe an allergy, maybe a personal ethic. Someone's pescatarian, someone doesn't like to use grass-fed meat products. We'd ultimately expect the same results from grass-fed versus marine. So that's interesting. Size of collagen doesn't matter. Well, we know that it does matter. 2 kilodaltons or 2 to 5-ish. Bone broth is just as good, but do we really know? Okay, so bone broth is good. It is good. It's wonderful. And so is collagen. But there's never been any situations where both of them have been squared off together and kind of tested against each other and compared. And also, if you go and Google bone broth recipe, you're going to get like 100 different ones that use different bones and different preparation methods, and all of those are going to be different. Okay, all of those are going to be providing different levels of collagen. So we can't really say bone broth is better than collagen in a powder form. Like, it's just not a comparison. If you want to do bone broth, do it. It's good for you. Get a good one that tastes good though. Excellent for the gut, excellent for the joint, excellent for the skin. It's a really great thing to drink every single day if you can. So myths busted. Silicon. Okay, so remember the brick and mortar image. Okay, let me take a drink of my CanPrev magnesium. It's delicious. Oh, delicious. Okay. So silicon is the glue or the caulking of the body. Okay, skin, hair, nails, joints, tendons, ligaments. Oh my, it's all there. Silicon is a part of all of those structures. Okay, it's actually one of the most abundant trace elements in our bodies, and it helps to activate the hydroxylation enzymes that are essential to building strong collagen networks. Whoa, that's a mouthful. So silicon goes in there, tells enzymes to make collagen. Okay, and then sticks to the collagen and makes it all and glues it all together. This, in the skin in particular, silicon is associated with the synthesis of things like hyaluronic acid, okay, which traps the water and combats skin dryness. We're going to talk about hyaluronic acid in a moment, but it's also been shown to increase the number of collagen-making fibroblasts. Okay, so it stimulates the fibroblasts to create collagen, which is great, but it also makes more of them, causes the body to make more of them. It's just like increasing the troops, basically. Where do you get it? Here's some sources that you can get it naturally. Whole grains, beer, certain vegetables such as green beans. but more specifically, I want to talk about monomethylselenotriol. Let's just call it MMST. And if you'd like to repeat that back to me, you can. Monomethylselenotriol. So this type of silicon is the only form in Canada that is 100% water soluble and 100% stable. Okay, it's trademarked, it's registered. It's an excellent form of silicon, and that's why it's patented and trademarked. And there's lots of studies that have been done on this to show the benefits. So silicon, again, it glues collagen, elastin, things like hyaluronic acid together, joints, tendons, ligaments. It's all right there. MMST is more effective in increasing bone volume than bisphosphonate drugs. Boom. That is such an amazing statement right there. So it increases the activity of bone builders, okay, and it decreases the activity of bone degraders. Okay, I know we're talking about skin, but I couldn't not bring this up. It's such an amazing, what's the word? Not a theory, but it's an amazing fact. Okay, it stays dissolved in water. Okay, other silicon sources come in thicker mediums because they would clump otherwise. Okay, so this MMST form, it will dissolve really well in a water, and it doesn't have to come in like a gel form in order to stay stable and useful. It has a great shelf life, so if you take it and then you forget for a couple weeks or a month or whatever, it's not going to lose its effectiveness. Research supports benefits for the bones and arteries. I know I kind of jumped the gun on that one a little bit earlier, but I just got excited. So it helps with bone health and bone strength, but it also helps with arterial strength. Okay, in the aorta and the carotid arteries. Okay, the aorta is on top of the heart, and the carotid arteries are right up in here, deep. Those are high pressure places. And every time the heart beats, the arteries go open and close. Sorry, not open and close. Expand and contract, expand and contract. So there needs to be a lot of integrity in those arteries. That is where there's a ton of silicon, okay? 10 times more silicon than other arteries in the body. 10 times more. That's pretty impressive. The MMST form, lastly, is a very bioavailable form to the body, meaning we can use it the best. Okay, like it shows up and goes, here you go, body, use it. Some other products out there, it's not like that. Okay, you take in some nutrition, some nutrient, some silicon, and you get maybe like 20%. Okay, MMST, you're getting almost all of it. Okay, it's a very bioavailable form that we can use. Actually, there's a higher amount of silicon per weight than any other product on the market. You're going to get a silicon, get something with MMST. I'll make it easier for you. Get the CanPrev silicon. The silicon also comes with biotin in it. So the biotin is vitamin B7. It's when people think of like skin and hair and nail health, biotin usually comes up there. So that's included in the product too. Kind of a twofer. The capsules have higher concentration of silicon than the liquid. So that whole idea of, oh, liquids are more concentrated, it's not actually correct. So omegas, yes. Omega-3s, the liquids are more concentrated than the capsules, but in silicon, the capsules have a higher concentration of silicon than the liquid. So, sorry, my point being is that if you are a capsule person, then you're going to have to take more. Sorry, you're going to have to take less than if you're a liquid medicine taker. So we talked about collagen, we talked about silicon. So which one to use? I mean, ideally both, right? Because they do kind of different things. But if you did have to make a choice, I'd probably go skin, collagen, or if you were going to work on hair and nails, take some silicon. But again, if you take them both, you're going to make a really great, strong piece of tissue, basically. Let's talk about ceramides. Oh, these are so cool. Oh my gosh. So ceramide, what is a ceramide? Okay, ceramicide. When you take a piece of wheat, there's gluten in it, there's some other carbohydrate in it, and then there's a fat in it. So the ceramicide is the fat part, okay? It comes from wheat, but it is gluten-free. But isn't all wheat products have gluten in them? Good question. So it is gluten-free because it is an extract, okay? Ceramicides are a component of wheat, and that is extracted from the wheat. The gluten is the protein in the wheat, okay? So there's no gluten in that. So if you're a celiac person, this is fine, okay? There's lots of tests to rigorous testing that goes on to make sure that it is gluten-free. It's also GMO-free, which is wonderful. Ceramicides, what do? They help the water barrier function of skin cells and permits water retention in the skin. Okay, so it helps to keep water in there to make it smoother looking. Okay, so this means that there are less ceramides, there's less skin hydration, and there's more fine lines and cracks. What else is in it? Something called digalactosyl diglycerides. Let's just call it DGDG, all right? This is really an incredible little component to this product. It helps with the absorption of ceramicides and also the usage of it, okay? So kind of like the hydrolyzed peptides telling the collagen-making cells to make collagen, the DGDG is telling the body how to metabolize the ceramicide so we can use it in the skin. Okay. I should also include, where is this working? This is working in the outer layer of the skin. Collagen and silicon, they are working on a deeper layer usually. Okay. What does it do for you? So increase the ceramide production in the outermost layer of the skin. Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, definitely not produce wrinkles, clinically proven to reduce wrinkles in 15 days. 15 days, that's 2 weeks. That's incredible. Like that is fast results, okay? It contains nourishing lipids that smooth fine lines. Okay, these are different lipids than omega-3s, by the way. Research has shown that there's a 16% increase in skin moisturization. So there's water being held in there that's being, hydrating the skin. There's an 18% increase in skin elasticity. All right. How does it do that? It actually inhibits something called elastase. Elastase is an enzyme that degrades something called elastin. Okay, elastin, think of elastic, like it comes apart, goes back. So if you stop this enzyme from breaking down this elastin, then there's going to be more of it around, making it more elastic-like. Another component of some studies showed that about 80% of subjects perceived a difference in the skin. Okay, so 80% of people had said, yeah, there is a difference. And then, this broke down as far as what specifically was different. Okay, so this question can go with every single other product in this presentation. I wonder if it will help my fill in the blank, okay? Meaning, will it help my eczema? Will it help my psoriasis? Will it help my rosacea? Will it help my acne? Okay, or yeah, this would be good for my mom's whatever. Well, the answer is yes, probably, but you or this person has to determine the underlying cause of the skin condition and treat that as well as supporting the outer layer of the skin and the dermis, okay? Because if you don't address the underlying cause, then the skin lesion will keep coming up. And we just keep kind of putting stuff on top to palliate it, okay? So these products are going to help the skin integrity, which is going to help healing, okay? But we need to address the cause of what's causing, the root of what's causing the skin issue in the beginning. So if it is psoriasis, we need to address the immune system, okay? If it is eczema, for instance, or atopic dermatitis, we need to look at the gut, big time. It's a gut immune issue, okay? Rosacea, also very gut related. If you have rosacea and you haven't heard of SIBO, please look that up. Bam. Oh, vegan and celiac friendly. Yeah, we talked about gluten not being in the product. Okay, so that's celiac friendly, and it's vegan because it comes from wheat. So if you are a vegan person and you're like, I don't want to take collagen, I don't want to take silicone, then this would be an excellent idea, okay, for skin and nail health. All right, we're going to round out the presentation today with hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid is super cool. Oh man, it is a very new product to CanPrev, and I think it will be on the market very soon. So if anyone is familiar with cosmetic injections, hyaluronic acid is something that is injected into the lips and cheeks to make it look plumper, okay? We're not doing that. This is not what this product is, but that is that is what goes in the lips, okay? I just wanted to bring that up because that comes up often in my visits when I talk about hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid naturally exists in the human body, and it exists in abundance in the skin, eyes, and joints. And it acts as a lubricant or a shock absorber, okay? Especially if think about the knee joint, like it needs to be in there to lubricate the joint and to regenerate the meniscus and the other tissues in there. Because there's a lot of pressure and a lot of not damage, a lot of wear and tear in there that's happening. We need to cushion the joint. This is a great little graphic here. So here's your skin, and we blow it up a little bit more. Okay, we zoom in, and we see these structures here. This is the collagen. All right, and in between these little joints, that's where the silicone lives. Keep it all together. And then inside the boxes is the hyaluronic acid. Okay, so the hyaluronic acid binds water. Okay, it binds water. So think about this for a second, right here. If we take this out, take that out, take that out, take that out, then these collagens are not going to be like that anymore. They're going to kind of tip over, they're going to be a little bit deformed. There's nothing like holding them out, nothing like holding them up anymore. And this is where we get our dry skin, and that's where we get our skin cracks. Okay? So again, hydration is such a key point, but you need hyaluronic acid in your skin to hold on to the water. Well, this is something that works really well to help retain the water. Think about a bouncy castle, okay? Where if you don't keep pumping air in there, a thing's just going to collapse. That's what hyaluronic acid is doing with water. Water is keeping the collagen from collapsing. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything because it's such an amazing little molecule. So long and short here, if the hyaluronic acid levels is reduced, there's less water binding, which leads to the drying of skin and the volume of skin declining, okay? So specificity, when you're out looking at hyaluronic acid products, or you're Googling it or whatever, there's something called molecular weight, which we talked about in collagen as kilodalton weight. So when it comes to hyaluronic acid, we want a low molecular weight for skin, okay, and a high molecular weight for joints. All right, so if you're using a hyaluronic acid that is low weight, and you're like, oh, this is going to heal my joint problem, it might not do as well as if a high weight hyaluronic acid is being used, okay? So a little bit more specific about the hyaluronic acid by CanPrev. This is a non-animal sourced hyaluronic acid. This is amazing, okay? It's made by bacteria through microbial fermentation. It just blows my mind how bacteria are so smart. It's a little scary sometimes. It is made of a low molecular weight. It's something called Hyabest. Hyabest is a registered trademarked hyaluronic acid that has been shown to really make a difference. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Other things in the product, we have biotin, which is again vitamin B7. It helps keratin and the metabolism of hair, skin, and nail nutrients. Okay, biotin is one of those things where it's like it shows up to the job site and it really helps in so many different ways. There's L-lysine, which is an amino acid. It is there to help produce collagen. It's a great addition to any hair, skin, and nail product. Vitamin C, it's there, as we described earlier, it's there to hydroxylate proline and lysine. So if there is some lysine or proline hanging around that needs some help changing into a usable form, vitamin C is there to do it. And of course, MMST, monomethylselenotriol. And we know that that is the glue that holds everything together, especially the collagen, or the mortar to the bricks. So what does it do for you? So the HiaBest is the hyaluronic acid. That is the trademark name, and lots of studies have been done on this product itself, or has been done on the HiaBest hyaluronic acid. I just want to highlight two of them for you. One study that was done in 42 women ages 35 to 60. There was an improvement in skin dryness, luster, and suppleness just after 6 weeks of supplementation. That's not that long. That's like a month and a half. Man, that's really, really impressive, I think. 34 men and women ages 20 to 50. There's improvements in wrinkles, smoothness, and moisture just after 8 weeks of supplementation. Like, this is just showing that these products by themselves are very, very effective. Okay. Again, just want to tie in like the importance of laying the foundations of daily health and daily rituals, like reducing the sugar, exercise, controlling stress, hydration, right? When you do all those things and you add these wonderful evidence-based products, like you're going to see even more benefits. Okay, skin, yes, but also in so many other ways. Like energy is probably going to get up, mood's going to be better, you're going to feel stronger. Oh man, I could keep going on and on and on and on. So there we go. Improves skin dryness, wrinkles, suppleness, luster, and smoothness. Okay. Okay. It's been like 48 minutes-ish. So we have talked about a lot of great nutrients and products tonight. And I just want to summarize all of it into one slide for you. I kind of just alluded to it a moment ago. We have to understand that skin health doesn't just come from a pill bottle or a tube of moisturizer. Okay, we've got to address the underlying cause of the issue. Okay, if we don't treat that underlying cause at the same time as supporting the skin, then you will never reach full resolution. I want you to reach full resolution, but if we don't address those foundational things, we won't get there. Lifestyle and dietary habits must be addressed. Okay, which ones come to mind? I already talked about them: hydration, sugar, stress, topical products. And lastly, and really importantly, use specific evidence-based nutrition. Okay, use specific evidence-based supplementation. Okay, this is usually recommended by a naturopathic doctor. I think more and more, usually recommended by a naturopathic doctor. If you need a recommendation to a naturopathic doctor, we know them in Ontario. Okay, CanPrev knows a lot of naturopathic doctors, and they can definitely help set you or recommend one to you if that is around your area. And I can personally recommend someone to you as well. I'll find one. Oh, bam, bam, bam. So that's all the product information I have for you. I want to really thank you for your time tonight, and thank Country Way and thank CanPrev for coming together and allowing me to be here and talking to you guys about skin health. I want you to follow us on our social media channels for Instagram and Facebook at CanPrev. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at Dr. Rory Gibbons on Facebook and Instagram. Reach out, say hi, say like, hey, I saw your webinar. And if you have any constructive criticism for me, sure, why not? And this just in, attendees will receive 15% off your next CanPrev order when you go to Country Way. Just talk to a staff member and mention that you went and saw this webinar, and they will help you with that discount. That is it. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so excited to be able to do this for you today. And I am going to answer some questions here. Q&A. All right, here's some great questions. Might drinking lots of herbal tea perhaps make urine a little yellow? Not bright, just not perfectly clear. Yeah, so I can't really speak specifically to this, but what I can tell you is that when you drink caffeinated tea, like black tea, green tea, that is more of a diuretic, and that will make your urine, make you less hydrated. So if you're drinking herbal teas, then that's totally fine. Count that as water. Yeah, it could make your pee a little bit different colored, but when I'm talking about bright yellow highlighter pee, that's usually due to a B complex or a multivitamin. I have a question that regarding fish oils. Should fish oil be stored in the fridge? Generally, yes, it will be labeled on the bottle. There are some products out there. There are some products out there on the market that do not have to be refrigerated. I only know of one off the top of my head. But if you can, put your fish oil in the fridge. Pro tip: if you're not a huge fan of taking fish oil capsules, then pop them in the freezer. Okay. Collagen in bone broth, good source? Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm not sure if this was asked before I talked about bone broth and collagen, but is it better or worse? I don't know. But honestly, bone broth is awesome. There is collagen that comes out of that from the bones itself. And so that's already in a very usable form. Are they equivalent? We don't know, because there's nothing that like those, like collagen powder or collagen liquid versus a bone broth, it just hasn't been looked at. And I think it might be impossible to look at that just because there's so many variation in bone broth. Are there any good food sources that has collagen? Yeah, bone broths. Bone broths. Thank you, Alan Hill. I think I pronounced that right. Rose, thank you for those collagen questions. One question was, can these products help with just aged crepe skin? I'm assuming that this means skin, like someone that's been in the sun a lot. Yeah, I mean, you're providing the skin with with the building blocks to make new skin. It's not gonna, certainly won't harm, but it should improve the integrity of the skin itself. That's a good question. Thank you. In regards to products with gelatin, off the top of your head, do you know which products have gelatin, which then would require warm water for better effectiveness? I do not know the answer to that one, but someone is going to help with that. Yeah, question about collagen and marine collagen. Some people say marine collagen is better for skin. Does source matter in regards to where it targets? So yeah, I did cover this earlier. What really matters in a collagen product is the size of the hydrolyzed peptide itself. So if it's grass-fed derived or marine derived, it's going to be the same. It should theoretically be the same effectiveness for skin. Understanding that we always need to try to find out the underlying cause of certain conditions, which combination of products would you recommend for acne-prone skin? I have a teenage daughter that is struggling with her skin regarding acne. Yeah, so that's a great question. Teenage daughter with acne, of course, you said it, addressing the cause of the problem. I would say, honestly, a full spectrum collagen would be great. It's going to target the skin, but it's also going to target all the other places that are changing in the body. This person is growing as well. And silicone, those two together would be a really amazing combination. Just thinking about like the actual acne being like eruptions, and that skin breaking and then repairing. Okay. I think that is it. Thank you so much for these questions. If you have more questions, you can email CanPrev, go to the website and go to the Contact Us page. And if you want more information about collagen, go to collagen.ca. Okay, collagen.ca for more information on collagen and bone broth. All right, thank you so much again for allowing me to be here and talk to you about skin health. And I hope I reached and it made a difference in someone's life today. Thank you so much. And thank you again to the Countryway and Shauna for helping us set this up. Great. Right on. I guess I'll say goodnight. I'm going to stop sharing. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Stay safe. Bye.
Hello.
Hi.
So you can stop recording.
Stop recording. Okay.
Awesome.